Right, g'day again everyone. Okay, this is my second attempt at making the windscreen, and yeah, if you haven't watched the previous two videos, please do. No, so I haven't gone through the process of doing this one. I've already covered that. Well, I covered how not to do it in the first one, and yeah, how to correct it in the second video, and yeah, we'll give you a bit of a close look at it here. So, right, just showing just how much heat you actually need in this, and like there's probably a little more than was needed, but yeah, see the brown patches? That's this, I got flannelette sheet underneath it. So that was a flannelette sheet starting to burn. So, yeah, it was actually a good indicator too. As you could see, you probably can't see it here, but it has actually changed colour. That was sort of a really, you know, an off-white. It's now light brown, and yeah, it's a good indicator that you've got enough heat in it, you know. And but yeah, what I did, and I've cut this to size. Actually it's about a ½ inch bigger all the way around than it needs to be. I just wanted to make sure I didn't cut it short and that it didn't shrink, and yeah, anything else. I just want to make sure that yeah, it's not going to end up too small. So, and yeah, I did that just with an angle grinder, with a steel cutting blade, and of course it melts and it smokes, and you know, don't do it in a confined space. But and then I use the flap disc just to, you know, do like just a quick over it to yeah, take off the burn dags that were hanging off the edge. And yeah, I've tried a few different ways. The best way to cut plastics actually, and fiberglass, is with a I don't know what you call it. It's a saw, but the blade just goes sort of back and forth like that very quickly. Only goes a mil or so. Can't think of what they're called. But yeah, I've had two of them now, and I've blown up both of them. So yeah, if I end up getting another one, which I probably will, I've got more fiberglass to do. I'll have to pay a bit more money, get a better quality one. But anyway, it's beside the point. That's the best thing to cut it with. But as I said, I don't have anything like that. And so I just cut it with an angle grinder, and yeah, it was fine. So if you're going to use like an angle grinder too, or any sort of power saw, you know, cut outside your line enough, you know, so that you can get rid of, you know, any sort of clacking, melting or anything like that, so that you have to sand it back to the exact right size. Right. Anyway, yeah, as I was saying, yeah, on all the other videos I've seen, they've used cotton sheet, but I don't know how many cotton sheet. It's summertime now, so yeah, what we've got is flannelette sheets that are worn out, getting just tossed out. So yeah, wrong time of year to be getting cotton sheets. But yeah, I covered it because this tin that I made the template out of isn't perfectly straight. There's little tiny divots in it and scratches, and you know, little tiny wrinkles along the edges where I've, you know, because I'm not the greatest panel beater, and so I wanted to cushion a little bit and try and not you know, transfer any of those marks into the plastic. And yeah, and so as I said, I started with the middle. What I did was I put it in place. Ooh, that's moved off centre. I was going to say I had it in the centre. You could see it's centred here. That's moved off centre a good ½ inch. That could be an issue. Oh dear. I hope it's not ½ inch short on this side now. Anyway, well, if it is, I'll just have to be going back into the jig. And yeah, so hopefully it's okay. I should have noticed that while I was doing it. But yeah, anyway, as I said, I marked the centres. You know, the centre on the jig, the centre on the glass. Taped that down, obviously not well enough because it's moved. And then I started on here, and you know, I'm backwards and forwards across the centre. And I had tape, like, you know, because this was sticking right out here. You know, as a flat. I had a bit of tape down there and pulling down with a little bit of tension on both sides. And then I had my heat-proof gloves on, pushing it out, pushing it round, and then I would tighten the tape a little bit, and then I go a bit further. Yeah, tighten the tape. Kept doing that over and over and over until I got it down to this level here. And at that point, yeah, just concentrate on one side, go along there, fold it over, and you know, as I said, as I was forming this side, I'd, you know, while it was hot, I'd tape it down both ends, you know, so that it stays in place until it gets cold. And that's the other thing, you sort of, you know, let the bit you've done cool down before you start on the next bit, you know. So otherwise, you know, if this is still hot, if you're heating here and this and pulling this down, it's going to lift up here. So yeah, just do it gradually, a bit at a time, and watch your heat. You don't, you know, as I mentioned in the other 2 videos, you know, you're not trying to melt it. That was my first mistake with the first one. I was thinking that I had to actually melt it, you know, but no, you only have to soften it. You don't want to melt it, so you'll create all sorts of problems. If you haven't seen my first video, or the second, this was my first attempt. I burnt it, I wrinkled it, and then I tried, and there's, yeah, they just weren't going to come out. And yeah, so yeah, as I said, I didn't want to, I haven't got money to buy more perspex sheet at the moment, so and I remembered that I had a piece of perspex that I put in the window temporarily and never got around to replacing it with glass. So yeah, a piece of perspex came out this morning, and put a piece of tin in the window for the time being. So yeah, anyway, it's the same on the other. I got a bit of tin on the other window too. So yeah, then I have to put some glass in it, do it properly. But anyway, that's beside the point. All right. So what I'm going to do now is try it on the bike. As you can see, I've got the bike, got the flaring taped up. This is a lay tap masking tape, and yeah, because these fairings have been buffed, and they've also had a wax polish put over them, so there shouldn't be any issue with it the tape peeling paint off. Mind you, this tape's been on there for 2 days now. I don't normally leave tape on for that long, but anyway, as I said, I'm fairly confident it won't be an issue. So because it's been buffed and polished. So anyway, we'll unmask this now. I suppose you might as well. Watch me unmasking it. It's better than looking at nothing. Not that terribly interesting either, but anyway. So this has been taped down for easy 2 hours now. It's well and truly cooled down and formed its shape. I've kept the shape that I formed, so I don't have any issues with it springing up anywhere, unfolding itself. So yeah, that being off centre. So 10mm off centre. That's not an issue. I've said it's rusted. If it's an issue, I'll just have to put it back on the mould and reheat it. Hopefully it's going to get right. Should have been paying attention to that. Fortunately, being at the top, it's not as critical. I suppose it would probably be more critical if I'd. And that was a bit of a concern. I don't know, I haven't left a burn mark in it, but no, it's rubbing off. That's good. You'll probably see it. Okay. Now, because this is still, so I cut it bigger than it needed to be. So I'm not expecting it to be an exact fit right now. Just want to know that it's actually going to fit. Now, that was a little bit of a concern actually with the other one. Sort of, it was a loose fit on it and we had to pull it in on either side. So I made this to the size of the other one. But I was a little concerned that it might, because it's thicker than the other one, that it might be too thick to be able to pull in, or that it might pull my bearings out of shape or something. But that's not going to be an issue. Okay, well, that's kind of good. As you can see, it's not sitting down because it's ½ inch too big all the way around. I've got to cut at least a ½ inch off that. Woohoo! I've been successful. I'm happy with that. Excellent. So, it is a little bit browny. Let's just try something for a sec. I think that's, smoke off the sheet. I need to just try a little bit of cutting polish here. See if it rubs off. A better rubber. So it looks like it's a bit tinted actually. Okay. It's not actually rubbing off. Okay. I've created the tinted window. I guess flannel it wasn't the go. That's not in the flannel at all, that's in the tint. Oh, I did that. Had that issue previously. I've created a smoky tent. A little bit darker. What's this? Okay, I was going to paint the inside of it. Fortunately, it's not in the middle of it. No, not coming out. Yeah, looks like I've gone too much heat. Yeah, you get that. I said, fortunately, I said that it's even up here. It's only sort of dark down the bottom, and that's an area that I was planning to paint anyway, so we'll get away with that. And I didn't do it where the tape was. This is odd. The underside tape or the top side tape? Anyway, as I said, fortunately I've cut it 1/2 inch too big, so on purpose, so all of that line will be cut off anyway, so you won't see that, but yeah. Looks like I've got a smoky tint window. I guess I put a bit too much heat. Well, as I said, I put a lot more heat in the first one. I didn't get that colouring, so no, I sort of thought it was the final wet cooking, but so I don't quite know what caused that. Not because it's old. But as I said, yeah, we'll get away with that. That'll be fine. So we'll cut off around that edge where that actual line is showing the clear and then the tint. Actually looks quite decent being tinted. Yeah, it said some of that down the bottom be cut off. About that much of it. Just some width there. And then it'll be painted up to around here anyway, so yeah, we'll cover up where it's gone darker than the rest of it. And I think the colouring on the rest of it's all fairly even, so we'll get away with it. Alright, we're all good. So we'll leave the video there, and I've got a, actually I've picked up, I've been watching other videos on various things, bending it, cutting it, etc, etc, and yeah, one thing I was told that, you know, not to drill it with a regular drill. The bloke actually showed how to resharpen your drills for plastic, and then he suggested that a better idea is to just get a step drill. So I've gone and bought myself a step drill, cheapest one they had there, but so yeah, I don't know how long it'd last on steel, but it'll be fine for this job. Yeah, the other suggestion was that you put detergent on the hole, just straight detergent when you're drilling it. And yeah, of course, like most things, you have something backing it. Like you don't just drill it with air in behind it, you know. Like I'm going to drill a hole here, hole here, hole here. It's 5 holes. And so I'll put a piece of wood, put it down on a piece of wood before I drill a hole. Yeah, and I've got some bolts. So yeah. Try to that's an older one to show you. Yeah. I'll show you one, a bigger one. This sort of style. Had some of these, like they're a 5mm thread, but they screw in. So I had one in a 5mm, but it was also as hexagon. I didn't want to put hexagon head on there. So I went and tried to get some, and yeah, wasn't able to. I don't know whether the original ones were like that. Anyway, so all I could do, I went round and I got some screws with washers. I don't know if I'll be using the washers just yet. And, yeah, I'm going to, so I've got some tube out there. It's only alloy, but it'll be alright for a Phillips head screw. It's not going to be tightening enough to squash it, but yeah, I'm going to make up a couple of these out of that a small round wind tube. Like this, these are 6mm, so I only want 5mm. These are too big, but yeah, but they'll be the thickness of the perspex, so I'll cut them so they're the exact thickness, and that way, you know, you can tighten your screw down hard without, you know, crushing or pinching your perspex. And it's the same thing with all plastics and with fiberglass. I've got to do the same thing on the fairing now too. So I've got to cut some dowels, put in there with the fiberglass fairing. I'm actually going to glue them in because they're all different thicknesses too on the fairing. So yeah, I'll be cutting them a bit longer, gluing them in with epoxy, and then when they're dry, yeah, grinding the back of it off so it's flush. But yeah, anyway, we'll end it there. If you want to see what it looks like, the finished product, you'll have to wait and tune into the next episode. Anyway, thanks for watching, and hit like please. Bye.